Democrats want to know what they're going to be facing. Let's talk about it right now, because if I were a Republican running, I would say Democrats can't protect us across the world, Democrats can't protect our street, and Democrats can't protect us at the border.
That's how bad the Democrats are doing. Joe Scarborough is a Republican again. Super duper Wednesday, everyone. Yeah. All right. Former President Trump just released an ad, and it's really soft on President Biden.
America is back.
Highest inflation rate in the U.S.
The southern border is collapsing. A claim of COVID infections.
We amplify our power. We summoned a new strength.
This is a recruitment ad.
Should we be embarrassed?
Diplomacy is back.
Now the Taliban are back. Kabul is not in an imminent threat environment.
The likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
Did I say soft? Sorry about that. That was as soft as Chris Cuomo's skull. Meaning not soft at all. That's a Chris Cuomo's watching. You know, I should really watch these videos before I do the show instead of doing shots of hand sanitizer with Kat. And America, please don't say I told you to drink hand sanitizer. Say Kat did. So let's have another taste, shall we?
They own the whole country now, the Taliban.
The Taliban are now in complete control of Afghanistan.
Complete chaos.
How did President Biden get this so wrong?
Well, first of all, the mission hasn't failed yet.
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated.
Do I bear responsibility? Zero responsibility.
China is ready for friendly relations with the Taliban.
I feel like they're gonna open the door in there and the Taliban and they're gonna come in and kill us.
Slow down, everybody.
We have to ask the Taliban for permission for American citizens to leave. True or not true? They are in control.
I can't think of anyone better to lead this operation than
You're just chanting death to America?
Call yourself the president?
Well, much like the Wahlberg parents, I fear that will leave a mark. That is a really terrible joke, and I'm so proud of it. But that video says what everyone outside the media thinks, that Joe's a human teabag, and he's always in hot water. We saw yesterday's horrible speech. It had the intimidating power of a refrigerator magnet. It was as inspirational as the list of side effects in a drug commercial. As energizing as eating a pound of pasta after a stack of pancakes and chasing that with a fistful of Xanax. He answered fewer questions than the Taliban and split faster than Stelter's pants on donut day. And while all minds were on Afghanistan, what did Biden lead with? The progressives' greatest hits, all aimed at us and not them.
that today's vote in the House allowed them to consider my Build Back Better agenda, a broad framework to make housing more affordable, provide 2 years of free universal high-quality pre-K, and 2 years of free community college, and make an infrastructure more resilient to the climate crisis, and so much more. Now, look, I also want to thank everyone who voted to support the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. You know, advancing, it's an act to restore and expand voting protections, to prevent voter suppression, and to secure the most sacred of American rights: the right to vote freely, the right to vote fairly, and the right to have your vote counted.
So first you got free stuff, which at least didn't go to the Taliban. Still, it's sort of like when your wife gives you a crappy Christmas gift bought with your money. Sorry. Our money. Except here, it leads to inflation and unemployment. Yeah, thank God she's not watching. We got voter suppression without any evidence that it exists. We got climate change, which must be good news for the Taliban. Because according to Newsweek, the Taliban is now vowing to fight global warming, which, you know, I don't doubt. Everybody agrees one cause of climate change is overpopulation. And you can argue no one has done more to bring the number of people on this planet down than the Taliban. At the rate they kill people, carbon emissions won't be a problem in a couple of months. But that's the thing with Joe's pressers. Does he ever have a real answer? Or does he just play with his wheel of excuses?
Okay, this is how we get ready for a press conference. Here we go. You're gonna have to ask Jen Psaki. Yeah, she's good. She's good. Look, I inherited this thing, all right? Not enough people are wearing their masks. What? That was like 4 or 5 days ago. Come on, man. Ask that again. But just change the words. Just walk away. What does that mean? Oh, that's me. Oh, I gotta just walk away. Here we go. Just walk away. Boy, this is the easy part.
Here's the weirdest thing. How does everyone else know the right thing to do except the people in charge? I get it. There's no such thing as a clean solution, but the execution began with a flawed premise. It's the prison of two ideas. We stay forever or we get out. Sounds a lot like marriage. But you could have redefined a mission the way a football coach makes adjustments at halftime, or in this case, late in the fourth quarter. You could have left the place in the right order. American citizens first, allies and troops. Seriously, how can we call the Taliban backward when everything we did was backward? You could have blown up all the stuff so we didn't build them a new army free of cost. I believe that's on page 2 in How to Win a War for Dummies. So why is this so easy for a chuckle bucket like me to come up with? A chuckle bucket still drunk on Cat's hand sanitizer. Because maybe it's just harder for Joe. Joe effed it up just like Obama and Osama said he would. Like he's effed up everything. Remember when Biden said the likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely? Joe Biden probably doesn't remember saying that. So it's not the decision to leave that's the problem. It's that we elected someone who couldn't preside over the changing of his socks, much less the changing of a government. Fifth graders could beat him in a game of Risk. But we can't blame him. He never hid his incompetence. The guy was the epitome of the inside the beltway sponge, soaking up all the perks. He was more for sale than TVs before the Super Bowl. No, the blame goes to the media, who papered over his bottomless incoherence, who pretended there was nothing weird about a candidate who barely campaigned from his basement, who buried the Hunter Biden laptop story, who portrayed Trump as the real unstable one. This from deep state geniuses who were right less often than a college football player on his SATs. You know, I'm not sure if I can even blame the Afghan president for scramming. Lacking faith in Biden versus knowing what the Taliban will do to you? What's your choice? Obviously, the biggest bonehead move of all is thinking the government could hold off the Taliban for months. I mean, why fight when the guy backing you has less job security than an incoming host of Jeopardy? How did they miss that when it was as obvious as the wig on Brian Kilmeade's head? So it comes down to one word: accountability. We need to account for the corruption as well as the incompetence. We need to ask how they came to this strategy. Was it based on a memo rather than on men? Was it based on consensus rather than reality? Whose opinions mattered most and why? Who scoffed at a rapid Taliban takeover? Maybe none of them scoffed at it and they were lying to us all along. So now we've abandoned thousands of allies. Something I couldn't see Trump doing. Oddly, being America first often has these secondary effects of helping those who help us. That's right, media. The guy you called Hitler for 4 years had more compassion than any of your dumb ideas of the last decade. So instead, we went from America first to Biden's America's worst. It's no Build Back Better, just more accurate.